Hello and welcome to Georgia Detours. I'm your host, Ashlyn Super, and in today's episode, we'll be showing you some of the best places to take your children in downtown Atlanta. For our first adventure, we'll be hanging out with literally thousands of fish. Let's catch up with Robert Brown as we enter the undersea world of the Georgia Aquarium.
Thanks, Ashlyn. I am so excited to get in here. This is one of my favorite places in Atlanta to visit, home to one of the world's largest sharks, over 25 feet long. I'm talking huge. Okay, look, enough talking. Let's follow me. Let's come and check this place out.
We are in the Guinness World Book of Records, and that's for having the largest variety of aquatic life in an aquarium. We certainly are one of the biggest in the world. We are the biggest in our nation. So if you're looking in the U.S. for an aquarium, we are the largest, and we also do have one of the largest marine habitats in the world, which is Ocean Voyager. This is also a bit of a record-breaking exhibit as well. So the aquarium is quite large. When guests ask us how long will it take to visit, we usually tell them a good 3 hours is what you need to visit the aquarium. And that's because we have different galleries that show off and showcase different animals from different parts of the world. So behind me is our Ocean Voyager exhibit. It's one of the largest indoor marine habitats in the world. It stands at 6.3 million gallons of water. To put that in perspective, it's a little over 280 feet long, so about the size of a football field without the end zones. It has 4 whale sharks in it, and 3 manta rays, and over 80 species of fish. Thousands and thousands of individual animals live in there. And it's all artificial saltwater. And the window behind me is actually 2 feet thick. Ocean Voyager is actually an exhibit where guests can participate and swim or scuba dive. So for those that are divers and certified, you can go diving in Ocean Voyager with our whale sharks, which is really neat. And if you don't have a scuba certification, you can go on our swim, which is essentially a snorkel program. The program is about 30 minutes long while you're in the water. The entire experience for the swim and dive is about an hour and a half. We have Tropical Diver, and if you think of the brightly colored purples and yellows of fish, the things you would find in the Indo-Pacific region of the Earth or the Great Barrier Reef, that's what Tropical Diver is all about. If you go over to Cold Water Quest, now that's where you'll find all of the animals that live in the colder regions of the Earth, like the Arctic and the subarctic regions, and those will include puffins, belugas, sea otters, penguins, spider crabs, and so those cold water animals that you think of live there. We have River Scout, and River Scout is our freshwater gallery. It's our only freshwater gallery here at the aquarium, and it showcases lakes and rivers of Africa, the Mississippi River of North America, and the Amazon rainforest. So there are some really neat animals in there. We're opening our brand new gallery, Sharks, Predators of the Deep. So it'll really showcase sharks and kind of give guests an insight to what sharks are really about, because there's a lot of misinformation and misunderstanding about how sharks are in the oceans, and a lot of people are scared of them, and rightly so. But we hopefully can change that perception with this gallery and show guests that they are scary and they are big animals and they're toothy animals, but really they mean well, and there's a lot to them that we don't know. No project is taken on at Georgia Aquarium with extensive amounts of research done on the front end. So while the construction may have been going on for the past 2 years, this has been talked about and this has been worked on for many more before that. We do a lot of research to find out what species can live well together, how they thrive, what environments they live in, and then when we sit down with architects and our planners, a lot of those things are discussed in those meetings to make sure that the environment we provide for these animals when they arrive is exactly something that they would thrive in. And then we do a lot of research on what they eat, their swimming patterns, all kinds of things are discussed before we even start construction on a project like our shark gallery. So that when they do arrive, then it's a little bit of acclimation, getting these sharks used to their new environments, and hopefully we encounter very few issues. Guests will get an incredible opportunity to participate in 2 programs in our new shark gallery. The first one is an immersion program where you actually get to go in an interaction pool with sharks and rays. There's zebra sharks and ribbon-tail rays, and you get to participate in a training session, interactive training session with those animals. You get to see them and be near them, be in the water with them, so that's really cool. And then the second one for our thrill seekers, is what I call it, is a cage dive with our sharks. So we actually have a cage program where you'll get in the water, you'll have an air supply, and you'll be submerged into the exhibit with these animals swimming around you. Of course, you're protected and it's completely safe, but there is nothing like the thrill of a cage dive with sharks. The cool part about Georgia Aquarium is that a lot of our animals are either born here or rescued. So we have a good number of animals that were actually born here at the aquarium that live with us in Ocean Voyager and any of our other exhibits. We have a good number of animals that were rescued, for example, our California sea lions. A lot of those animals were rescued off the coast of California during a mass stranding event. So it's really neat that we can provide them a forever home. Our sea otters have that same story. They live here because we provided them for a forever home. We do have a number of animals that we've acquired otherwise for education purposes. You'll see some of those animals in here as well. We have 4 whale sharks. They're 2 males and 2 females. And they're about adult length. So we know that a whale shark is about 26 feet long when it's an adult, and we have a couple of whale sharks that have reached that length already. Getting whale sharks to Atlanta is not an easy feat. As you can imagine, we're a very landlocked city, so getting whale sharks here took an effort of a couple of different organizations. I'll start with, first and foremost, we went out to the coast of Taiwan to work with the Taiwanese government to acquire these whale sharks. They were destined to be in fish markets, so we essentially bought them from fishermen. Instead of them ending up in fish markets, we wanted to bring them here to Atlanta to show the public what these amazing animals look like and what we can learn from them. So once we had them, UPS helped us out. They donated 747s and their time to fly these animals all the way from Taiwan here to Atlanta. So it took about 30 hours from start to end, and once they arrived here, they were escorted by police on 18-wheelers here to the aquarium, and we carefully placed them in Ocean Voyager at the time. Our penguin colony here is a South African penguin. They're native to the coast of South Africa, so you'll notice if you go visit our exhibit in Coldwater Quest, there's no snow and there's no ice in that exhibit. It's because these penguins live on beaches in warmer weather, so the temperature inside their exhibit is in the 70s and the water temperature is in the 60s. So it's a little bit warmer, and not really traditionally when you think of penguins. I know a lot of people think of ice and snow, so it's kind of neat to see these birds in a different realm because these animals live on beaches, but they are native to the coast of South Africa, and we have quite a large colony here. Our sea otters are some of the favorites among all of our guests and our fans here at the aquarium. We have 5 sea otters right now, and our 2 newest residents are Mara and Gibson. Mara and Gibson are rescues. They're about a year old, a little bit older than a year at this point. And they were rescued off the coast of California, and they came to us as sea otter pups. They are the most adorable animals in the world. Depot is our Garibaldi damselfish mascot for Georgia Aquarium, and it goes back to a longer story. Our benefactor and our founder is Mr. Bernie Marcus, who, if you know Mr. Bernie Marcus, he is one of the co-founders of the Home Depot. And when he was so successful with the Home Depot and his business here in Atlanta, he wanted to give back to the city and give a big thank you to Atlanta, Georgia, and the country for making his company so successful. So he decided he wanted to gift the city of Atlanta an aquarium. So here we are. As part of that, he and his wife decided to name Depot, our mascot, an orange Garibaldi damselfish. And we think it's a little bit of a throw to the Home Depot to kind of say that thank you and that little nod to him. So Depot and all of his friends live in Coldwater Quest in the Kelp Forest exhibit. So if you're ever here at the aquarium, check them out. They're in there. They're beautiful, bright orange fish. These animals get exceptional care. They visit their doctor, so to speak, more often than you and I would ever go to the doctor. They're fed restaurant quality food every day, and their habitats mimic exactly what they would experience out in the open ocean, for example, here in Ocean Voyager. This is an example of what it's like in the open ocean, so we try to make sure that their habitats simulate what they would naturally be doing. And then when it comes to behavior, we do a lot of enrichment with our animals, especially like our marine mammals. We have enrichment devices that we use with them. We do training sessions with them to keep them engaged and to keep their minds engaged in foraging those natural behaviors that they would otherwise have out in the ocean. All of our animals here are fed restaurant quality food, so the same seafood that you and I would eat in the nicest restaurants, these animals are offered that same opportunity to eat that food. It's done for a number of reasons, to avoid contamination and to make sure that we're giving them the best nutritious food that we can possibly give them. We go through about or over 600,000 pounds of seafood every year here at the aquarium. It is very expensive to feed animals and to maintain these animals, but this is where we rely on our ticket sales from our guests to help us fund what we do here at the aquarium. So we really rely on everybody visiting the aquarium and supporting us through donations or through purchasing activities and items on the internet that are based out of the aquarium to help support the aquarium and to keep things going here. As many other companies and many other organizations, not-for-profits especially, have been pretty hard hit by COVID. We're thankful that we are financially in a good place where we're able to maintain our doors open and maintain our animal collection without an issue. We've been able to provide uninterrupted care to our animals, but we really look forward to kind of getting back to normal, and part of it is opening back to the public like we have, and it being able to welcome guests to help provide that revenue stream that we've been really needing while we were closed. We were closed for 12 weeks, so it was quite a while for us.
Woo, that was definitely an experience. I think I'm gonna schedule a dive, maybe even 2. Jump in the big tank with the whale sharks and cage dive with the others. Now it's time for me to go and schedule these dives. Ashlyn, I know you have other things to do. While I go schedule these dives, back to you.
Thanks, Robert. I could spend weeks in there and still not get tired of looking at all of those fish. But speaking of places I could spend hours, just a short walk across Centennial Olympic Park is the Atlanta Children's Museum. Katerina Korliak is already inside, and she says it's her childhood dream.
Do you ever just want to paint on a wall? Well, this is one place you can go and not get in trouble for it. Families and possibly educators will walk in. They'll be quite astounded by the globe that's Gateway to the World. It's our newest exhibit from when we renovated in 2015. That exhibit features a lot of geography and a lot of vocabulary. We have 6 continent tables that are a prominent feature on that exhibit, where the kids can take their trains through different cities and landscapes on the 6 different continents.
My name is Allison Pratt. I've been with the Children's Museum of Atlanta for 3 years. I just had my 3-year anniversary. We're very hands-on here, and I noticed very quickly that this place really is so important for children. It's a way to learn through play, and I have such a passion for teaching children that way because it's just special. It's something extra that they might not necessarily get in school. Here they can learn, but also, you know, learn a dance routine at the same time or do a hands-on science experiment. I've worked several different positions at the museum, including being a costume character. Right now I am a play facilitator, which includes several different positions on the floor, cleaning the floor, maintaining the floor, as well as working in the education spaces. I work in our science bar, in our maker space, and in our stage programming.
So at most museums, you just go look at stuff. But at this museum, you get to be a part of the exhibit. Tools for Solutions is going to help the kids learn about the 6 simple machines. They're going to play with our massive ball machine. There's multiple entry points and a lot of teamwork involved, but they have the opportunity to make the balls flow through all the different areas of the ball machine, as well as play and build in the construction house. They can learn about plumbing and electricity and what's behind the walls of their home.
Well, most people who I've talked to who've gone to other museums say that we just offer so much to do. So I think a lot of museums, you just walk around and play, but they don't have anyone doing what we do, which is a play facilitator. So we actually engage the kids. We also have areas they could go to do different things like making things in our Creativity Cafe, learning about science. And I know most people walk in here and they think they're going to walk around and look at things. They don't understand that it's an interactive experience. So I think that's really what sets us apart, is that we have so many different programs that we offer.
I think my favorite thing is to just get down on the child's level and play along with them. That's my favorite way to engage with children. For instance, in our foods exhibit, which is a grocery store, we have a cow named Buttercup. We have a diner. These are all great places to get on the kids' level, interact with them, help them prepare a meal, help them milk the cow.
We want to teach kids and their families all about the farm-to-table aspect, and so the kids can run the Waffle House and learn that the food comes from the farm through the grocery store and the food distribution process into the restaurant. So they can run the restaurant, they can run the Publix supermarket, or they can use shopping carts and check out their food at the register, and then they can ride on our tractor, and they can harvest both food and pick some eggs from our chicken coop.
It's so funny because when they walk in, they take it all in and they're just overwhelmed by all that they see. I think the one thing that always excites them the most is the cafe. I have had more kids come up to me and be like, when I grew up, I want to work at the Waffle House, because they have so much fun doing that. So I think that's the most exciting area for them. We also go out into the community. We have our Connected Learning program, and that is, I think, very important. It's something I've enjoyed over the years because we go to about 7 different communities in the Atlanta area, and most of them are children who don't always get the opportunity to come to the museum. So one of the most exciting things has been seeing those kids over the years as they grow up, and they still remember you, which is amazing. Like 4 years later, they'll come in the museum and be like, Mr. Dwayne, and they remember me.
Thanks for joining us with the Children's Museum of Atlanta, #CMA at Home. My name is Savannah, and this week we're going to be talking about mindful movement. So, what is mindful movement? Well, remember, being mindful means paying attention to what is happening with both your mind and your body. So mindful movement is paying attention to how your body feels while you're doing exercise.
We very much have been diving into virtual programming, and I see that being something that's going to continue to develop, continue to grow, because even in the last couple of months since we've launched virtual programs, they've been very successful, they've been very fun. I teach a couple of virtual classes through the museum each week. Have you guys heard the word measure before? Say that with me, measure. To measure something is to find the length of something. And a way that we can measure is by using something called an inch. And obviously there's always technological things that are a learning process, but I've been pleasantly surprised that, we've still been able to connect with children this way and still have fun with them, doing story times virtually, doing arts and crafts virtually. Greetings, Padawans! My name is BB-8, and I have been sent to this land of Atlanta, Georgia, to train you all to be Jedi. Yeah, so I definitely see us continuing to expand our virtual programs.
So next, leaping into learning is going to be our 5 and under area. The kids there will learn hand-eye coordination and fine motor skills by fishing in our pond. We've got magnets on the end of our fishing rods and on the fish, and so they can match the magnets and fish away. They can also explore the sensory of water, play, and just get wet and have fun. They can climb in the tree house in this area, as well as learn about the vocab of the Georgia landscapes on our touchscreen. In Step Up to Science, they can learn about biology, light, and sound. And then the very special part is the science bar, where they can do a hands-on science activity that's run by one of our museum staff members.
I think it's just interacting with the kids, and especially I enjoy we call it our creativity cafe upstairs, where they get to make their own projects to take home. So that's one of my favorite things to do, just to kind of see what they create.
I really love the connections that I've formed with children and the families over the years, and seeing what it means to kids.
I love this place.
How fun! Can you imagine playing an entire song on those stairs? What a workout. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for playing with us, and we'll see you next time on Georgia Detours.